Welcome, Hudson Valley, to this week's edition of In Touch, the award-winning public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. This week, we are talking about 92.7, 96.9 WRRV's Shop with a Cop, where WRRV teams up with the Hudson Valley law enforcement officers to help local children and families this holiday season who may not have the means. They raise funds and then surprise local children with a shopping spree at the Poughkeepsie Galleria just before Christmas. We invite you to join us and listen to a previously recorded conversation between Nick, Alonzo, and myself here on In Touch. Thank you for all the kind words shared in regard to In Touch officially being awarded the 2023 New York State Broadcasters Association Award for Outstanding Public Affairs Program or Series as part of the 57th Annual Excellence in Broadcasting Awards. This recognition would not be possible without the incredible team here at Townsquare, all of our phenomenal guests that we learn and grow with every single week, and of course you, the listener. Whether you've been listening for a while or you just found us, thank you for taking part in the conversation and staying in touch with what's going on in the Hudson Valley. We here at In Touch are all about, being in touch with what's going on in the Hudson Valley. What better way to stay in touch with what's going on than by downloading the Townsquare Media mobile app for this radio station? Not only can you listen to this station live at any time using the app, but you can also listen to In Touch on demand. Besides In Touch, you can read daily articles about news, events, entertainment, and more that's going on in your community. And when the weather gets bad, you can use the app to check on weather reports and see which roads, schools, and organizations are closed. Your Townsquare Media app is the best place for concert tickets and events as well. We're constantly giving away tickets to the hottest shows in the area. Again, you'll have access to all of this if you just download the Townsquare Media mobile app for this radio station. In Touch is nothing without the support of the hundreds of listeners that we get on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for listening and taking part in the conversation. If you listen to In Touch through a podcast service such as Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please consider leaving a positive review. With more 5-star reviews on these platforms, the algorithms will work hard to promote our show and bring In Touch to new people. That and also sharing In Touch with your friends and family is so important. Just sharing our links and listening live each Sunday goes such a long way. Thank you for all you do to stay in touch with what's going on in the Hudson Valley. Hello, Hudson Valley. You're listening to another episode of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We got a great episode for you guys today, and I'm really excited to get into this one. Great for the holidays, and it's a phenomenal tradition that we have here with Townsquare Media, with our very own WRRV. Speaking with us today, we have host of the WRRV Morning Grind, Nick Kessler, and he's also the organizer of WRRV's Shop with a Cop. Also joining us today, we have Sergeant Alonzo Montanya from the Sheriff's Office here, talking about his perspective on Shop with a Cop as well, along with a couple of really other awesome things that are going on in the community. Guys, I'm so happy to have you both in here. How are you guys?
Good. Hey, it's almost a new year. It's like you saved the best for last, right? It's like
absolutely
going out, ending the year with a bang.
Absolutely. It's good to have this big kind of swell at the end. You're like, here we are. Yeah. But this is such a great tradition, and it's been such an awesome thing to be able to see in this building since I started working here. I was hired right before the holiday season few years ago. So this was one of the first things that I got to enjoy working in this building. So I just find this to be an awesome tradition, and it's cool to circle back to every single year. But for those in the community that may not know what Shop with a Cop is, Nick, could you please explain what Shop with a Cop is and how it's helping out Hudson Valley families?
It's very simple. We have kids from right here in the Hudson Valley who are nominated, who may be part of families who are struggling this year, or may have gone through a couple years. We've had some repeats. They're nominated, and we pair them up with a local law enforcement, a local hero, and we send them on a shopping spree at the Poughkeepsie Galleria. We give them a gift card, and they're free to go, accompanied by a police officer, to any of the stores they want to go to and buy anything that they want with these gift cards, things that they want, toys, maybe some things that they need. We send them on the shopping spree, and it's go time. They're gone. We usually don't see them back right away. They're gone. Especially when they see like Target or something.
Yep.
They're gone for hours. But this is something we've been able to do for 6 years now. It's kind of crazy to think about, but that's basically it in a nutshell. I mean, we have a cop, and they go shopping with a local kid here in the Hudson Valley. I mean, and every kid who's nominated, we come pretty close to getting every kid on the list, and they're all from right here in the community.
That's terrific. And one thing that I really want to highlight that we talked about last year when we had you on, it's not always just about the toys and the traditional stuff that you would see underneath the tree. Sometimes these kids really also look into their families and look into the necessities as well. We also talked about, it's like sometimes the biggest thing that they need are groceries. They'll go to Target and pick up groceries, or they will grab coats because they don't have coats, or they don't have the best fitting shoes or something.
Gift for another family member.
Yeah.
That's big.
And that has happened for sure. And how do you say no to helping a kid that is putting someone else before themselves at such a young age? It's pretty amazing to see and witness in person.
I think we saw the need for this because there's a lot of toy drives, and those are all great. But yeah, how do you serve getting those necessities? You know, like a shoe. You know, an older kid who wants a pair of shoes. You know, the new video game, the latest electronic. You know, maybe a laptop. Toy drives are great, but I just tend to notice that they serve younger kids for the most part. So this is something that can help little kids, but also those 15, 16-year-olds as well.
I think it goes beyond that, too, because when you allow a child to make their own decisions, you start empowering them, and it's like a confidence builder. So it's just transcending beyond getting the material things, but building up confidence, getting them to build character for later on in life as they continue to go. And I think it's important for them to experience that. By Nick doing this, he's providing that, not just that opportunity, but that character building, that life lesson for the kids. And it's just a big thing to be a part of.
Absolutely. It is such a big thing to be a part of, and it's great to see the way that it really promotes this altruism in the community. I think that's terrific. And Alonzo, I want to ask you now, you've been involved with this for a few years now. What is that like for you as being one of the officers that are there with the kids, going along with them? You're creating these bonds with these kids as you're going around and shopping with them. Could you tell us what that perspective is like? Because last year, Nick and I had a wonderful conversation we got from his perspective, but this is the first time actually getting to speak with one of the officers who's continually done this. So I would love to hear what you feel and what you get at and what you see out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I just want to highlight, I think Nick does an amazing job, and it started with getting the town of Poughkeepsie Police Department involved, and they do an amazing job, the PBA, their department, and then getting us with the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office involved and having the continued support through former Sheriff Anderson and current Sheriff Kirk and Barati. It's such an amazing experience, and being able to your point, ending the year with a bang, right? So it's bringing some positivity into everybody that's involved in that, right? So for a lot of the law enforcement, it's the years can be long, and we don't get to do a lot of positive things in our roles, and we're ending the year with some positivity, but it transitions into changing our outlook or keeping our outlook positive as we head into the new year. And when you go there and you're a part of this and you're helping the kids shop, and it's more than just being the person that's there carrying their items for them. You hear the stories. They want to talk to you. You see them smile. You see the sheer joy of the impact that's being made. And again, going back to the empowering piece of they're picking out what they want, or maybe like Nick pointed out, they want to get something for a family member, or they're going beyond and getting groceries for their household. And it's just, we were saying before off the air, it's just we take a lot of things for granted, and we forget the hardships that a lot of people face sometimes. So just to be able to be a part of that and to be able to put a smile on someone's face. And a lot of us, when we go, we take it a step further where we do help out. And especially when you see a kid that wants to get a gift for their family and everything, like how do you
say no?
Yeah, and at such a young age, they've been nominated for this. This is supposed to be about them, and they still have such a big heart that they're like, well, I really want to do this for my mom or my sibling or my father, or somebody that did something for them. They're looking to give back, and I think that's the character that we want to see our kids have and carry on in life. And that it's bigger than just you, but while it's about you, we're here. And you're in that opportunity because you shined, and you're being recognized for that. And I think that's something that shouldn't be lost in the equation. The first year I participated, the young man I was partnered up with, resident from Beacon, great kid, and I met his dad, and we talked for the whole hour, walking around shopping, and we chipped in so he could get a little extra because he was just a great kid. And you see him smile, and they asked to take pictures after, and we don't get a lot of positive encounters in law enforcement at times. I think it's changing now as we have more community-based policing units and resources that are available, and we try and get out in that light, but a majority of the calls that we get aren't in that positive light. So,
absolutely.
You get to go out there and be a good role model, and I think that's what, when a lot of us signed up for the career, that's what we want to do. So you have that opportunity. I have the pictures still from that day, and I invited him up for a tour, and unfortunately they didn't make it up, but I got a beautiful letter from that child and his father after, and I still have that with me at work. I keep it with me at my desk, and it's just a reminder of the work that Shop with a Cop does, and the relationships that it builds, and the experiences that get to be provided to the community. So it's just a tremendous honor to be a part of it, not just me, but for all of the law enforcement that's involved and represented from the Hudson Valley. I know it means equally as much to all of them.
That is amazing. I'm really glad that you got into as much as you did, because one of the things that I wanted to ask and highlight, you could do this fundraiser without the cops, essentially. You could raise the money, you could give the cards, you can send the kids off on the shopping spree. But having that experience with local law enforcement just adds an extra level to it. And as you said, I am so glad that you said it, stuff where you don't always see the positives in your line of work, and not all in the community doesn't always see the positives either. But bringing this together really brings this beautiful union, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because I think that highlights it so wonderful. I don't know if either one of you have anything to add on that, but I think that's just a terrific feeling and terrific thing that Shop with a Cop does.
I think, it's just the spirit of the season. Old or young, we still get absolved into it. And, you have that opportunity to go out and be a part of that, and you're connecting, and for the child, they're getting to see beyond the uniform and more the person. I've always told Nick, whether I'm in uniform or not, I am going to be the same person. Mm-hmm. And I think it's getting, for us from the law enforcement side, it's getting people to see that for a majority of us, that's what it is. The person we are defines us, not necessarily the uniform we put on. But when we put it on, we have a different responsibility and job to go out and do in an office to represent. But, when it comes down to it, it's still Alonzo, Montanya, the guy that is the sergeant at the Dutchess Sheriff's Office. And I think that's an important piece for it when we have the connection with the kids, is they get to have that humanizing aspect with law enforcement. And there's a connection there, and it helps build trust and relationships. And like I said, just getting those notes or those messages later on, just like reaffirm everything that Nick and the town of Poughkeepsie Police Department, everything that they've all been working on, is this has grown into this huge event now for the 6th year.
That's amazing. I think that really is good.
And I can be a grouch 11 months out of the year, but in December, the heart grows 2 sizes bigger, and Christmas has always been really special to me. And actually, now that my wife's a police officer, I'm a father now, so it really means a lot more. And we are going to make this year even bigger. I think we helped out over 40 kids last year, starting from, I think, the first year we had like 10.
Yeah.
And now we're up to 40, and we're giving them significantly more money, too. So this year, it's going to be huge.
That's awesome. Could we go into what we can expect this year? What are you doing in particular that's making this so huge for the kids this year? And also, if you have it available on you, or if you can remember, who are some of the people that are helping to make this possible? Companies, people, things along those lines.
Well, of course, our help from our local law enforcement. We can't do it without them. But we've got some corporate sponsors this year. We've got Sherwood Tile. They've helped out. They've been there since the beginning. Mahoney's Irish Pub and Steakhouse helping us out. Kevin McCurdy's Holiday Express, and the Giving Tree Cafe just hopped on. I feel like there's a new sponsor coming on every year, and that is great. That just means they want to help out more kids. All
great companies here in the Hudson Valley making a difference, and I'm glad that they keep popping up, coming out of the woodwork and helping you guys out. So that's great to have their involvement. But there's a lot of community involvement. There's a lot of people who just come out of the woodwork, random listeners who are like, you know what, I want to donate, I want to help out. How does somebody, the regular day-to-day person, take advantage of this and help out with Shop with a Cop?
Well, they can drop off some money here if they want. If they want to make a monetary donation to Pendle Road, Poughkeepsie, 12601.
Yep.
There you go.
Got it. And we've also got a way to donate online. I know that's a little easier for people.
Yep.
They can do them via debit card. All you have to do is go to the WRRV app. The link is there. You can do it very easily. And that is also where you can nominate a family as well, nominate a child. And that's completely anonymous.
So when is Shop with the Cop going to be happening this year? I think we haven't even said the date yet.
It's December 17th. That's Sunday at the Poughkeepsie Galleria.
That's awesome, and I can't wait for that. I think it's going to be a terrific day for all the families, for everybody involved. It always has been and always will be, and really, really excited about that. We'll get back to a little bit of Shop with the Cop in a moment. I want to talk to Alonzo for a moment about this great initiative that's been going on in November and December that you were telling me about. I think this is really cool. I think this is a great way to also boost some of that community awareness and various things. You have this program called Grow for Good, and it allows you guys to do something in law enforcement you typically can't always do. Can you get into that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, everybody has their own No Shave November events, right? And that's essentially what this is. We just wanted to come up with a different name that really spoke about what we were trying to accomplish when we did it. Because we're not allowed to grow facial hair at our agency. When we went and pitched the idea, which I drew the short straw at the time and had to go pitch this to Sheriff Anderson, the late Sheriff Anderson, basically said, hey, look, we would like to do this, but in doing so, we want to help out people in the process. And our focus was to help out local charities. As a result, we've been doing this now for going on, I think this is 5-6 years. Sheriff Imperati's still supporting the initiative. The DCSEA, which is the jail union, and then the Dutchess County Deputy Sheriff's PBA. We're all the members that we basically make a set donation, which it's currently $70 for both months, November and December, to be able to grow facial hair for those 2 months. Now, we do have a couple rules. Thankfully, I'm on vacation, so I'm a little laxed, but we have to keep it clean and groom up our neck, but we're allowed to have our...
There's no ZZ Top beards
Yeah, so, but it's, it helps. It sounds silly, but it's a little bit, it helps boost morale for some
absolutely.
of us. And, that's the minimum. There are people that go and donate more. Sometimes we have other causes that we're helping, but we've been fortunate enough to support. In the past, we did Toys for Tots, and we support Sparrow's Nest. We support the Ryan McElroy Children's Cancer Foundation, and then we do Hudson Valley Guns and Hoses. We do DC 1013 of the Hudson Valley, and Shop with a Cop. That's the big one. So this year we have $2,000 for Shop with a Cop. As a result, we've raised over $5,500. We're also helping a domestic violence shelter with some gifts for kids that are in there as well. But it's just turned into this. It sounded like a silly idea, but we've raised over $50,000 in the time that we've been doing this, and it's just awesome to still have that support and to be able to do it and to be able to be a part of things like this. So.
And they look good doing it too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't want to brag, but I feel like I think it's in the house I get told you look like you deserve a little bit more respect.
Yeah, there's a lot of wisdom in that beard.
I love it. The beard looks good. Yeah. I'm loving it. And as a beard guy myself, I'm a little impartial to it, but I love it. And
we got a lot of beards in this studio right now.
Yeah, we do got a lot.
Like a do-it-yourself podcast or something like a.
Oh my gosh!
Like a tool time kind of thing.
You got the wrong guy in here for that. I'll tell you how to mow a lawn, but I can't build stuff. So
it's all good.
I'll give that credit to my wife. But that's what keeps the house standing, right? So.
Very good. Give the credit where credit is due. That is awesome.
That's it.
Now, something like this, you hear about Grow for Good, you talk about the beards, as we were just saying, but a lot of the women in your workforce also get involved with this as well, too. So it's not where it's just like a guy-dominated thing as well. They heavily take part in this as well, too.
And they're donating, support Sparrow's Nest for that reason, to recognize October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we make those donations in that honor to Sparrow's Nest. It's a little bit harder for how you express that participation. This year we were able to wear the pink ribbon lapels during the month of October. So we do recognize that as well, and we try and accommodate. So I think it's awesome that the women we work with support it, and they they understand that it's really for the greater good. I mean, whether I could grow a beard or not, for me right now at this point, it's more about being able to donate the money and help people that actually need it, and we've been fortunate enough to where we help the charities, and then at the same time we've had members at our office that are either employees or their families that have experienced hardships this time of the year, and the charities that we support they're the first people to come and say, hey, what can we do for you guys, and how can we help you, and I think that's that's the point of supporting local and being a part of this. There truly is unity and community, and I said that earlier, but it's just such an important piece, right? Whether it's the small business or whoever. Like at some point when we leave the studio, we all live in this area. We're gonna cross paths. So, I think it just instills the concept, too, of, just being a better person or being a better human being, because that's essentially we all are that, right? Going back to the holiday spirit, and it's bigger than just you. So
absolutely. So with this being a big community thing, is there a way that people outside of your offices to be able to still give to Grow for Good?
So for us right now, I would say we have handled all of our donations in-house, and normally we used to put a link up in the past, but we don't. But I know Nick plugged the WRRV link. Yep. But I would say at this point, too, if you're looking to contribute to what we have going on, if you go either to WRRV or also to the Town of Poughkeepsie PBA Facebook page, they also have the link, and they're accepting Shop with a Cop donations on there.
Terrific.
So we would ask that people, hey, if you want to go on there and say, in honor of the Dutchess County Deputy Sheriff's Grow for Good, we're making this donation. We would love that. Come here to the studio or make it on the Town of Poughkeepsie PBA's page and support this cause. I mean, that's really what it's about. Let's keep getting that number up and getting that number to be where it's at. And like Nick said, there's a lot of great stuff. This guy, he's out here grinding. I mean, pairing with Mahoney's, he's got some stuff that he's going to be doing there, and
bartending event, and
you got Newburgh Brewing next week, which will be done by the time this airs.
It's crazy how many times, or how much it's grown, and it was literally just me for the longest time. I remember when I pitched it, it definitely kind of turned some heads, like, what? Yeah. You want to do what? I'm like, trust me, I've seen this work. I know it's going to be great. And I remember it was me raising all the money, me getting all the nominations for the kids, and me selecting all the families. And now it really has just grown. And the help with everybody, it's just been huge. And it couldn't be as big as it is without the help. So.
And
that's great.
Yeah, and I think that's an important piece, right? We talk about these are all local businesses stepping up, with Mahoney's, and you have RRV sessions at Newburgh Brewing, and you're doing a collection there. And Paul and his team they're fantastic with anything community related. They're always stepping up, and that's what I mean. It's all these local businesses, local people helping each other out, and that's why this is such an important endeavor, because it transcends to just beyond the partnership of the youth and the law enforcement there. We're just building a better community in the process by everybody wanting to be involved and be positive in the process.
Amen. So good. And it's great to see this just continue to grow and build and create something bigger and better every single year. Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We're speaking with Nick Kessler, the WRRV morning show host, and also the founder of WRRV, Shop with a Cop. We've also been speaking with Sergeant Alonzo Montanya with the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office. We're talking about Shop with a Cop, and we're also talking about the Sheriff's Office Grow for Good, which actually also helps out Shop with a Cop. So it's all connected in the end. And it's just a great way to be able to share that holiday spirit and grow the community. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your effort in helping out the Hudson Valley with everything that you guys are doing. Before we wrap up this episode, is there any last little nugget you guys want to share for the In Touch listening audience?
It's not too late to donate.
Yeah, I'll second that. And
we got a few weeks left.
I know it's not why he does it, but just, to Nick and RRV and the radio station here, and just everybody that's involved, thank you for making this into what it is, because we wouldn't have the opportunity if it wasn't for community stakeholders like yourself stepping up and wanting to get law enforcement involved. So we appreciate it.
And likewise, we couldn't do it without them, because you guys, have your own network too. You know, sometimes it's hard to get a hold of certain departments, or to find out who the right person is, the right contact. I think it has just grown exponentially because of you guys kind of talking to yourselves, and it's like almost like once one department does it, the next one hops on, and then the next one, then you get another one to kind of tag along, and it's fantastic partnership.
And I guess with that said, if there's any law enforcement agency out there listening that we've missed in Orange County, Dutchess, Ulster County,
yeah.
You know, if you're looking to get involved, please reach out to us.
It's not too late.
Not too late. The more the merrier.
The more the merrier. Amen to that. Guys, thank you so much for being here on In Touch. And again, happy holidays to you guys. I'm looking forward to Shop with a Cop.
Excellent. Thank you.
This has been this week's edition of In Touch, the award-winning public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. We want to give a big thank you to WRRV's Nick Kessler and Sergeant Alonzo Montanya. For more information on WRRV Shop with the Cop, visit the WRRV homepage. Whether you've been listening for a while or you've just joined us, thank you. You can find In Touch episodes new and old on your favorite streaming services like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. That and listen on demand with your Townsquare radio station mobile app. Of course, you can still find all articles and audio under the In Touch tab on this radio station's app and website. And don't forget, we're also on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at InTouch_HV. I've been your host, Connor Walsh. Until next time, stay curious, keep an open mind, and as always, I'm glad we get to spend some time.